And also because we're entering the year of the dragon, I've been doing a little research on that, the mythology of that in Chinese mythology. And I came across a reference to the dragon being the rainmaker, and that they would evoke the energy of the dragon for rain. And you're speaking about your connection to rain. And I know you have some things to say about the entering the year of the dragon, and I'm really curious
Hmm.
to have you.
Yeah, let's go there. So, uh, you know, just the whole thing of let's go back to um, the roots of Qigong. My feeling is that the Qigong is the handle. It's the thing that we can grasp that makes the hammer. Like if it was a hammer, you have to have a hammer. You have to have a handle to get the hammer to really work well. If it's a hoe, to hoe the garden, if you don't have the handle, the long handle on the hoe, it's like, how would you ever accomplish it? So
How you
Qigong kind
leverage
of,
the tool, right? That's how you
yes.
leverage.
So Qigong is like an easy way in to being more conscious. And then once we become a little more conscious, we start to wonder, like, well, how did humans figure this out? And then we start to notice things like the long days of the summer and the short days of the winter and the equal days at the equinoxes. And so now we've got equinoxes and solstices. And those equinoxes and solstices cycle in a pattern of 12 new moons and 12 full moons. I mean, occasionally in a year there will be 13 new moons or 13 full moons, but on average it's 12. And so then if you think of the nature of the world and the four seasons, and then ourselves experiencing the four seasons, that gives you five positions, 5 points of view, sometimes called the five elements, sometimes called the five characteristics, sometimes called the five uh, uh, qualities of nature and the world. So then you multiply 5 times 12 and you get 60. So now you've got a pattern of a large pattern of 60 years or 60 months. And every 60 months, you get a dragon year.
Mhm.
And every 60 years, you get a cycling of all of the powers of the animals and so forth that are part of the shamanic tradition of the Chinese culture. So that's all very beautiful. So now we've got these four seasons and these celebrations that happen at the solstices and the equinoxes, for which the presence of ourself, the fifth element,
Mhm.
can observe and learn and develop bodies of information. And so now we've got these beautiful bodies of information from all the traditional indigenous shamanic cultures that they don't all have a dragon, but they all know about the solstices and the equinoxes and so forth. So within that context, the second new moon following the winter solstice is the first day of spring.
Mm.
And the equinox, the spring equinox, is the middle of the spring. And the Chinese New Year is the first day of the spring, called the Spring Festival. So it's not a day, it's a period. We're in it. We're in it right now.
Yeah, we are.
The what would be called Chinese New Year's Day is right around where we are, depending on which calendar you're using and so forth. And often on the Roman calendar, they put it on a Saturday because now everybody obeys the Roman calendar, which may or may not have been the best idea for humans, but that's what we do. So with that all in mind, we're going from the year of the rabbit to the year of the dragon. And one of the things that's really beautiful about this is to just think of the contrast of a rabbit and a dragon.
Mm.
But also then think of a rabbit in its worst mood and a dragon in its worst mood at the same time as you think about a rabbit in its best mood and a dragon in its best mood. And I don't know, everybody has a different experience from different in their different years, and of course we're all born in different months, and that has some kind of a relationship with all of this too. But in a very, very general sense, the rabbit is associated with kind of home life and simplifying things. And for me personally, that was exactly what happened in the year of the rabbit. It was just excellent for me. And I know that people have gotten sick and died, that the wars have been fought during the year of the rabbit. So I'm just reflecting on the fact that I personally experienced the lovely bunny rabbit.
Mm.
And so we don't know about what's going to happen with the dragon.
Not the
But the first,
rabbit.
rabbit, right. Interesting thing about the dragon is that just in general terms, so not talking about how it's going to go for any one person,
Right.
but the big idea of the dragon is that the dragon is a mythological character and therefore is not limited to the, shall we say, the general rules of what we would call dimensional life. So in a way, the dragon becomes like, the dragon is the representative of the capacity to move back and forth between Tai Chi, that's Tai Chi there, the
Great
yin
ultimate.
symbol, the Tao symbol, however you want to call that. The name of that is Tai Chi. The dragon can move from Tai Chi, the dimensional dualistic world, into Wuji, the transcendental, quantum, boundless and timeless world. And so think of yourself as the dragon, just to say, just take it on and say to yourself, in right now, we're entering a dragon year, and no matter what else there is about myself and the world, geopolitics, economics, and everything else, but just myself experiencing being with the dragon capacity, then what we get is the ability to get out of our own concerns and considerations and get into an awareness of the transpersonal aspect of ourself, which is immortal, which is eternal. And so if nothing else can be on our mind relative to how to be in a dragon year, one of the things that we can be in a dragon year is aware of the fact that we are not limited, that in some way we are eternal. And of course, we concern ourselves about the body, and we use our mind mostly to concern ourselves about the time-limited version of ourself.
Right.
But the dragon suggests that we actually use the mind to, instead of going down into concerns and considerations about time and space and the body, to go up into reflection and insight and revelation about the nature of our the eternal nature of ourself, which cannot get sick and does not die.